Hello and namaste. Are you someone who's trying to manage your time? Have you tried many tools and techniques? Have you made many timetables? Have you made many schedules and still not able to figure out how to manage your time? Stay tuned. This is the topic of discussion today, and this is Ganesh Pai here from Digital Thought Cradle. Let's start with it. When we talk about time management, we hear so many people talking and saying that, I couldn't find time to do whatever tasks and topics that I planned for the day. We always blame the factor which is time. Now let's look at some of the statistics. The biggest concern that we have today is distraction. Because of the distraction, we are not able to manage the available time that we have. One of the studies shows that average 2 hours are lost daily in just distraction. The average time on the task before the distraction, that means the average time that a person spends on the task is around 11 minutes. And after that he gets distracted, and then by the time he or she rebounds back to the same pace as he or she was before the distraction, it takes 25 minutes. Now that's quite a lot of time lost in between, isn't it? How do we deal with it? Let's look at the Vedic perspective as to how to deal with this. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse number 32 and 33, Lord Krishna speaks to Arjuna and says few words. Now, for those people who do not know what chapter 11 in Bhagavad Gita is all about, this is called Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, wherein Lord Krishna shows the universal form to Arjuna, and Arjuna gets bewildered. And he asks a question to Lord Krishna as to, who are you? I'm not able to understand who are you. And that's where the answer starts from Lord Krishna. He says, I am the time. I am the destroyer of this world. And he says, I am here on Kurukshetra battlefield to destroy. That means he came there to destroy all the miscreants of the world, and all of them have gathered in the field of Kurukshetra. He also says this, all miscreants are already slain by my arrangement. Now that's something which is astonishing, right? So he says that I have already killed all of them. Then what is there for Arjuna to do? He says, you just be an instrument. That's it. You just be an instrument because all of them are already killed by my own arrangement, by my own endeavors. And he says, fight, win the glory and enjoy the kingdom. This simply means that even if Arjuna would not have been there, Krishna would have killed everyone because he was there on that mission, and he just used Arjuna to be an instrument. Now, what is the takeaway that we can carry from this shloka and implement in our life? Let's look at it. First thing, can you manage time? So we always talk about managing time, right? We talk about, I did not find time to do this task, I did not find time to do that task. The question is, can you manage time? Lord Krishna says, I am time. So time is a higher form of energy that we do not have control on. We don't run this universe, isn't it? We are part of this universe. We have to adapt to this universe, and we are given time as one form of energy, and we just have to adapt to it. Everything in this world is a project owned by God. Now, when we talk about not possible, when we say that it's not possible to manage time, then what is that we can manage? We can only manage two things. Number one, the priorities that we have in our lives. And once we are clear on the priorities, the focus on the priorities is what we can manage in the given time. So when we define our priorities and focus, it has to be well within the project defined by God. And we are all part of a big project planned by God. Likewise, Kurukshetra war was a big project planned by God to kill all the miscreants, and Arjuna was one part of that big project, and he was just a means to execute the project. In the same way, we are all part of some big project in this world, and we have a role to play. And all of us are given an opportunity to contribute. That's a very important thing. Like Arjuna was given an opportunity to contribute in that big project of slaying all the miscreants of that time. We are also given opportunity to contribute in some or the other way in a big project planned by God. And we are all given 24 hours of time per day, irrespective of a rich person, poor person, weak person, strong person. All of us are given 24 hours of day without any bias. So that's something which is a kind of gift by God, by this universe, to us to execute that role that is defined for us. Now, the matter of fact is, if we don't act, God will pick someone else to act. If Arjuna would have said that I don't want to fight in spite of all your preaching as Bhagavad Gita, then God would have picked someone else, because he has already planned the project and he knows whom to empower and whom to take away from the projects. So if we don't act in the big project that is planned by God for us, then God will pick someone else to act. Now, these are the few learnings that we can take from the message of 11th chapter. Now, let's see, how do we conclude? How do we really implement these learnings? Number one is, don't try to manage time. It is beyond your limit. Don't ever try to put blame on time that I could not manage time because time was out of my control. The time given is same for everyone. What we need to do is manage our priorities and focus. If you know what is that one thing that you need to do as a first thing in your day, and if you focus on that, you will automatically see that your time gets managed by itself. So you don't have to put effort in managing time, put effort in managing your priorities and focus. Number two is, find your unique placement in God's project. When you talk about priority, priority is directly proportional to the purpose that we define in our life. And the purpose that we define in our life gets defined by the understanding of where we are placed and how we are placed in terms of our skills, in terms of our abilities, in terms of the passion that we have for various aspects in this world, and how can we contribute back to the world. So that's where our unique placement is in the God's project. We have to identify that placement. We have, through our passion, through our skills, through our talents, through our surroundings, through our resources available around us. The most important thing is, don't look at someone else's placement. Look at your placement and rejoice your placement. You know, in the story of Ramayana, when all the monkeys were building the Ramasetu to Lanka, there was a small squirrel which was just picking small stones and putting it on the Ramasetu. And Lord Sri Ram told all other kapis at that point of time, saying that, look at this squirrel. The squirrel is doing its part. Now all of us are given different abilities, different privileges, and different skills and talents. We have to do our part and rejoice our placement, and we have to keep taking action. Just rejoicing our placement would not really help. We have to keep taking action in that direction. In short, excellence is a journey and not a destination. So we have to practice excellence in the journey of finding our unique placement in the God's project, by prioritizing what is most necessary thing that we need to do based on the placement that we are in the God's project, and we have to focus completely on that. And that's how we actually manage time. Did you like this video? If you're hearing it in the form of video, or if you're hearing it in the form of podcast, please do like, share, and if you're watching it on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel Digital Thought Cradle. And I would also like you to be part of our Thought Leadership Forum group on Facebook. The link is given in the description below, wherein we discuss on such deep aspects of Vedic philosophy and its practical implementation in real life. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. See you in the next video. Namaste again.